Going to show my money saving technique for using my TS55S Festool Track Saw on the new Festool, I believe it's the 1800 STM-1800 table. Going to cut down some sheet goods for my home remodel. Didn't want to connect tracks, so I went with the Makita. Covers the whole sheet and gives me like 280 millimeters overhang to do the cut properly with the amount of space so you can start and stop the blade. So here's the Makita. I ordered it from Tool Nut and it came in a great carton. FedEx home, shipped it, but it's, you know, got some plywood on the perimeter, some MDF for the top and bottoms. It was wrapped in some foam sheet and also had some cardboard. So came perfect, no dings, no dents, no bends, no anything. So I'm going to break down this 4x8 sheet of birch imported plywood with the UV finish. Not making a cabinet right now, but since my cabinet supplier messed up so bad on my cabinets, the bottoms are probably getting replaced, but we would like to have something on top so we can use the kitchen when the appliances come. So I'm going to break it down, taking 5 millimeters off of the edge so I can stay within a good range for my track saw suction, so I don't blow a bunch of dust all over the place. And then I am going to calibrate my new TSO parallel guides and do some parallel cuts to about 24 inches so I can throw it on top of the cabinets. All right, made my cut. No splinters. Now I did cut the edge at the same time as cutting my board, which it really didn't matter, but hardly no sawdust on the floor, on the board. Nice clean cut, no chipping. So now I will calibrate my TSO parallel guide, and then I will cut this sheet in half. Have my TSO parallel guides calibrated. TSO has a great video on how to do that. Refer to that. And what I did find is I did triple check and stuff. So I marked from my edge to 605 millimeters on both sides. Then I took my woodworking rule with the rule stop 2 on it, set that to 605, marked my line. Then I set up this on my strip and lined up the stop on the TSO parallel guide to the edge of my rule, not looking at the number on the parallel guide, and boom, it was at 605. So everything is right. So now I feel confident in making my first cut. And this is my first cut. I've never done this before, so just sharing my experiences, not as a professional, but as the first time doing it, how I do it, and tips that I can include. I overthink a lot of stuff. I am so precise in everything I do. It's a curse. So I'm going to set up the track saw, make this cut, and check the squareness of it, and hopefully have more confidence in myself I know the tools have confidence in their self because they're made by a strict standard. So let's make the cut. Made the cut. First time using this STM-1800 table. It has a lot of different extensions that you can use and put. What I did find is I had my board pretty much centered in the middle because I didn't want to rip through all my wood. I set my saw slightly below the 3/4 inch plywood thickness. But what happened, since I had it so far over to the middle, these extensions were not in play. They're in play now because I split the wood and extended it to the end, but they weren't in play, and they just caused a hindrance when I was cutting because I had to move my body around it. So tip for that is, yes, they're good for supporting your workpiece, but depending on where your cut's going to be, how it's positioned on the STM-1800 determines if you really need them, because they may just be in the way. I did take my rule, and of course, none of these pieces are square yet, but they are parallel. I can take the rule and slide it completely down the entire sheet, and I have perfection. No lip, no nothing. And it's a very nice cut. The cut again, smooth, not sharp, no tear out. I did drop my splinter guard down once I had my saw on the sheet, and I had my stop set. As you can see, it's at 3/4 and just a little bit. Don't need to go all the way through. And great, everything works great. The Makita track worked great. It is big, but it's one piece. If you do go for the Makita and you do have the Festool saw and the Festool tracks, you need to get the TSO slide-on adapter. They do make one that I would have loved that just, it's a drop-in adapter, but since I'm using the Makita, you need the slide-on adapter for that. So it just requires a 3mm hex head bolt to be loosened and tightened. But that's it. But the Makita worked fine, and it was a savings. So there you go. Thank you.